if your students look bored, confused, or disengaged, you might be making one of these common teaching mistakes, and I made every single one of them in my first year of teaching. But once I understood the learning theory behind why they happen, my classes completely transformed. So today I'm sharing the top 3 mistakes that lecturers make, plus one bonus mistake that we don't always talk about, and how to fix them using behavioural, cognitive, and constructivist teaching approaches, so you can get your students learning more effectively. And if we haven't met before, I'm Claire, and I work in UK universities for the last 10 years, and I try and help lecturers improve their teaching practice by breaking down practical strategies that actually work in real classrooms. So mistake number 1, content overload. So cramming too much content into your lectures. I used to think that the more content I delivered, then the more my students would learn. But what actually happened was that students left feeling overwhelmed and couldn't remember most of what I'd taught them. This is where cognitive learning theory really helps, because the brain processes information better when it's broken down into manageable chunks and connected to what students already know. So here's how to fix it. Start your lecture by asking students what they already know about the topic. This will then activate their prior knowledge. Make sure you teach in short, really focused segments, so no more than 10 to 15 minutes. Then pause to recap or ask a quick question or do an activity to apply the learning. Mistake number 2, passive learning. Making students passive recipients of information. So in my first year, I did a lot of the talking. Students just sat there silently taking notes, hopefully, but more often just listening to me, thinking that they would learn by just hearing what I said. So this leads to real surface learning. They might be able to recall some of the facts for an exam, but then they struggle to apply it later. And constructivist learning theory says that students learn best when they actively construct their own understanding. So here's how to fix it. Ask a thought-provoking question, maybe halfway through your lecture, and let the students discuss this in pairs for a couple of minutes. Use real-world case studies or problems that require them to apply what you just taught. In fact, it was only this week my students were telling me that they learn best when they have to talk things through out loud or try and explain it to someone else. So build in time for that, even if you're teaching in big groups. Mistake number 3, no feedback loop. So early in my teaching, I assumed that if students were confused, then they would ask me. But many stayed quiet, even when they were completely lost. And by the time I saw their assessments, it was too late to help. But behavioural learning theory emphasises that reinforcement and feedback. So you teach something, and then you check what students do with that learning, and you give immediate feedback, and then they can adjust their behaviour. And without that loop, students keep repeating those same mistakes, and those mistakes get reinforced. So here's how to fix it. Use quick polls or quizzes during class. Even 1 or 2 multiple choice questions will show you who's getting it and who's not. Or try something like an exit ticket. So what is one thing the students have learnt and one thing they're still unsure about before they even leave. This way you can adjust your teaching before those small misunderstandings turn into big problems. And bonus mistake number 4 is about unclear outcomes. So this is quite a common mistake that lecturers can make as well, just teaching without clear outcomes. So in some ways I used to plan my lectures around what I wanted to cover and what I felt confident teaching, and not what students actually needed to be able to do by the end. So this meant my teaching activities and assessments often just didn't line up, and students felt frustrated and confused. The fix is constructive alignment. So start by writing clear, measurable learning outcomes. Then design your teaching activities and assessment so that they directly support those outcomes. Because when everything aligns, students know exactly what is expected of them, and you spend less time reteaching before assessments. So, the big mistakes to recap. 1, cramming too much content. 2, keeping students passive. 3, missing opportunities for feedback. And 4, teaching without clear outcomes, but by using cognitive, constructivist and behavioural strategies, plus aligning your outcomes, activities and assessments, you can transform how your students learn. So if you want to dive deeper into constructive alignment, then please check out this video where I will do my best to walk you through step by step how I use this to design modules that I teach. And if this video was helpful, then please feel free to like it, subscribe, tell other lecturers about it so that we can keep improving teaching together. Thanks for watching.